Brendan Mortensen here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Baltimore comes up short. Here's Tony Mansolino.
Aggressive swinging team. I think it's one of the higher chase rate teams, highest swing percentage teams, and he was in the zone, which I think probably played to their favor a little bit. So, you know, a couple of the balls that they hit, I think the two-run homer was kind of at the very bottom of the zone, but, you know, teams like that, you tend to maybe work the edges a little bit more and get some a little bit weaker contact in some spots. But, you know, Dean's been so good here for so long for us, and, you know, it's actually, you look up on the board, they got guys with good numbers. You know, it's a good hitting team, and they hung in there. You got to give them a lot of credit too, but probably just too much zone tonight.
You get up to 4-0 lead quickly, 4 home runs, and generally teams don't lose a lot of games.
No.
When they get 4 home runs. I mean,
Yeah.
how shocking is it to?
Yeah, that's a bitter one right there. You know, and it feels like here lately we've thrown up some good numbers early in games, you know, on that last road trip, and we just haven't been able to hang on. And, you know, part of that is pitching, and part of that is not adding more runs as the game goes on. So we have to add more runs. We had a couple spots where we could have. We didn't get it done, unfortunately, tonight. But, you know, got to add more runs, and we got to hold leads.
What'd you see?
I know it's been a
at-bats?
frustrating year for. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What did you see from the at-bats after those home runs? Did you see, especially with runners in scoring position, just
Sure.
to capitalize?
I thought, you know, in the first, I counted it at one point. I think after those first 2 innings, I feel like we had 5 or 6 hard outs. So I actually felt like we hit the ball hard early in the game. Didn't have a lot to show for it. A lot of it was early in the count. So we couldn't, you know, we had Freeland kind of on the ropes right there. We could have got him out of the game and got to probably the lesser part of their pen in that part of the game. But, you know, they were aggressive tonight. They swung the bats. They hit some balls hard for a few innings, and then it kind of dried up for a little bit. You know, then we didn't hit the ball probably as hard as we had in the first half of the game, unfortunately.
I know it's been a frustrating year for Tyler O'Neill. What are you seeing out of him right now?
Yeah, he's
swinging the bat about as good as he has.
trending in a really positive direction right now. So I think this is kind of what we expected when he, you know, got signed and came over here. So, you know, going back to that Cleveland game yesterday, hit a couple balls hard. I think he hit 3 balls right on the screws tonight. So he's the guy that we need. He can help us a lot here in August and September, you know, as he kind of gets back to health and gets back to being what he's been for quite a while in the big leagues.
What did you think of the decision to keep playing the game despite, you know, the stadium not being safe for fans to stay out?
It's not our decision. So Major League Baseball and the umpires, they have control of the game at that point. So I trust the fact that the umpires have our health and safety in their best judgment, and I applaud the Orioles for kind of clearing out the lower bowl and making sure and kind of mitigating any risk whatsoever and making sure that the fans were in a safe spot.
How strange was that, though? Have you ever experienced anything like that?
I feel like I have, yeah. I don't know if in the big leagues, but I feel like over all the years in the minor leagues, and definitely not college, because college, they clear out. But I feel like in the minor leagues, a similar scenario has popped up before. That wasn't the first time I've been in that situation.
That's all here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.